What's up, everybody? It's Pete from the basement, flying solo again. I haven't gotten in touch with these guys, man. I don't know what's going on. I told them all to stay home. I'll do the review myself this week. I don't know what the hell's going on with them, but Trinity 3 came out this week, and you know, unfortunately, I'm kind of sorely disappointed with this. I don't know where the story's going. They got this stupid villain running around with a little Muppet on his shoulder, and you know, the Justice League comes in and fights. And I was really hoping this would center around Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman a little bit more. And you know, the secondary stories in this are really leaving me cold. Especially this one in issue 3 was about some kind of seer, and I don't know where it's going. And I'm not so sure I want to know where it's going. I'm not sure how long I'm going to stick with this. And the thing that hurts the most is Mark Bagley's artwork for me is not holding true to form. It's not being held up to the standards that I'm used to, that I've seen him do on Spider-Man and even on Mighty Avengers. Like, just this Wonder Woman cover just doesn't do it for me. She's ugly. And, you know, I know Bagley is capable of better than that. Look at the first years of Ultimate Spider-Man. Look at Mary Jane and Liz and, you know, a bunch of other female characters, and I know he's better than this, and I'm afraid that these weekly things he's kind of rushing through it to just get as many done as he can, and I don't know what the story is, but I'm really disappointed with Trinity. One thing that didn't disappoint me this week was Justice League of America 22. Ed Benes never fails to impress me with his artwork. It's like a Michael Turner, but I would call him better than Michael Turner. I think he's really well. I think he's got a real great sense of anatomy. He does female faces exceptionally well. At this point, Bagley could learn something from him. And there's a really cool little twist at the end. You kind of see it coming. Red Tornado kind of flips out, and no spoilers here, but there's a return of a classic Justice League villain who, if you've been watching The Basement, then you know that I feel that this villain needs a name change, and quick, because it's a pretty stupid name. But definitely want to check out Red Tornado's costume at the end of this. It's not red anymore, and you know, you'll find out why when you read it. But it's a really cool black costume. It's definitely worth looking at, and like I said, the artwork definitely saves any kind of mishaps in the story for me at this point. Another thing out of DC, Brave and the Bold 13. Now, you know I always rave about this. I always enjoyed it. This was just a nice standalone story with Batman and the Golden Age Flash, Jay Garrick, and it really shows Batman's respect for the older characters and, you know, the guys that have been around doing this for decades before he arrived. And, you know, obviously I know Batman is a Golden Age character, but the way they're handling the continuity now is Batman's been around for maybe 15 years or so, and these guys have been around a lot longer than that. And he pays the Golden Age Flash a really great deal of respect. He listens to what he says. He calls him Sir. And it was just a really fun read and an overall enjoyable book. I don't know if they're going to turn this into a big 12-issue arc. It doesn't read that way with this issue, the way Brave and the Bold #1 did, and you knew that, you know, the story was going to go on forever. But this was just a really nice standalone story. I highly recommend that. Last week, Superman came out, it was Action Comics, a new story with Brainiac, and that is definitely worth checking out. The artwork is stellar. The guy drawing it definitely draws Superman looking exactly like Christopher Reeve's way he's supposed to be drawn. You get to see kind of really truly how evil Brainiac is, and they give you a really great double-page splash of inside of Brainiac's ship, and you see that he didn't just bottle up the city of Kandor. He's been doing this, making his own little hobby collection for quite some time. Moving out of DC at this point, we come to, well, my favorite stop is Marvel, and I'm going to start it off with a bang. Punisher 58 was an awesome read. When we last left the Punisher, he was facing over this group of Marines with bombs strapped around this tombstone all over the place, and he told them, look, I want to talk to you guys. I want to tell you, you know, the guys you're serving are a bunch of jerk-offs. They're, you know, just in it for the money. They're in this for business. These generals that you take orders from are, you know, not the guys that you think they are. They're not the honorable soldiers you think they are. And you know, he fights these Marines, and he doesn't use any lethal force. The bombs are fakes. They're just smoke bombs. And he attacks them. He's punching them and everything. He breaks this one dude's fingers, and he almost beats them. Finally, they taser him like 10 times, and he finally goes down. And one of the things that one of the Marines says was really reverent. You know, this guy's almost twice our age, and he damn near took us all down. And I love when Garth Ennis writes the Punisher like that. Like, he's just this awesome human super soldier. Definitely please pick up this arc. It's so good. It's ending in issue 60, and then some other dude's taking over. This is Garth Ennis at his finest. He's wrapping up 5 years worth of story, and it's absolutely phenomenal.
Welcome once again to Penny's Creepy Comics Corner, with me, the adorable and multi-talented Penny Dreadful. It seems that novelists are jumping on the comic book bandwagon, my friends. I have 3 novels that are on their way being closer to something that even Pete can read. Nope, it's not comics on tape, but it does have less words and more pictures. The first one is from Dabble Brothers, and it's called Dean Koontz Frankenstein. Now, my mom has thousands of Dean Koontz books, but of course she doesn't have this one, so I don't really know the novels deal. But as for the comic book, it's more modern, takes place in the modern times, so you won't see townspeople trying to lynch Frankenstein with like pitchforks and torches or anything like that. You know, they're gonna come after him with Glocks. The monster isn't really a monster at all. He looks like a regular guy, pretty good looking, although he does have stitches and even a burn on his face, so that's as spooky as he gets. This guy's name is Deucalion. I would have liked to just call him Frankenstein, but his name is Deucalion. So he's doing his thing up at this monastery when a messenger comes and tells him of some murders that are going on in New Orleans, like some serial murder stuff. So this looks like a job for Frankenstein. He heads off to New Orleans to get on the case. For a minute I was wondering, like, what the hell does Frankenstein have to do with this, and why are they bringing him in from this monastery to come out and check it out? But it turns out that the murderer is collecting body parts. He's collecting internal parts of men and external parts of women, what leads me to believe that he's going to create a lady friend. But the guy that they have as the killer doesn't really seem like he'd be the type to kind of reanimate a corpse. He doesn't seem like a brilliant scientist. But he could be a lackey. He could be collecting the body part for someone. I don't know. The murders are reminiscent of this really bad horror movie called Pieces. I own it, where the guy was going around campus and killing girls and putting together his perfect woman. I don't know if that's the deal here, so I guess, like I said, we're going to have to get issue 2 to find out. Issue 1 of 5 is on the stands right now. The second novel to comic book is also under Dabble Brothers, and it's called The Dresden Files. Now, you've probably heard of The Dresden Files. It's a show, because it went from novel to show to comic. And in my opinion, the comic is way better. It totally captures the novel so much better than the show did. The show was alright, but it really didn't capture it. I love the novels, by the way. I love them so much that I'm so happy that they're making a comic book adaptation of the first novel, which is Stormfront. It's going to be awesome because it has exploding hearts, it has sexy vampiresses that run escort services, as well as a whole bunch of other supernatural cool stuff. Dresden Files number 2 is out on the stands right now, and the Chicago PD has him on the case once again to investigate a strange mauling at the zoo. Upon further investigation, it seems that the animals are under magical control. As if those guys didn't give him away right there. Now it's up to Harry Dresden to find out who the magic user is, why they're controlling the animals, and what the bigger picture is going to turn out to be. The last novel is Rogue Angel by Alex Archer. I really dig this comic book, so I want to introduce you to Anya, who's an archaeologist who also moonlights as a co-host for a show called Chasing History's Monsters. She seems to do all the investigating and the snooping around for the stories herself, and then reports back to the network. So while she's out uncovering the latest mystery in France, she stumbles upon a cave. In this cave is an amulet, but she bumps into some good guys who help her out and put her on to the fact that this amulet is forged from a piece of Joan of Arc's sword. Now these guys are old man old.